I've got an NBA Finals prediction that will shock you. Let me go over a few matchups and some X factors to show you how I got there first. For starters, let's talk about Chet Holmgren versus Pascal Siakam. On the offensive side of the floor, the Indiana Pacers need Pascal to shoot the ball and do it efficiently. And he's done that throughout the playoffs. Not only is he unbelievable from behind the arc, he's shooting 46%, which is one of the league's best in the playoffs ever. He is shooting lights out. Now, he is only shooting about 3.5 threes a game, but he's still knocking them down. And then in towards the basket, he does an unbelievable job. 10 feet or less, he shoots at around a 60% efficiency percentage, which I think is off the charts for a power forward. Now, for a center, that's another thing, but he does a really good job at taking even contested shots and knocking them down. But on the other side, you have Chet Holmgren, who I think is an elite defender. If you take those same statistics, shots within 10 feet defended, Chet Holmgren's opponents that he guards shoot 10% below league average. Unbelievable stat there in terms of showing how important Chet Holmgren's rim protecting is. If Pascal cannot get inside, which I don't think he's going to be able to on a consistent level, he's going to have to stretch the floor and shoot the basketball. He has done it in an unprecedented clip for a player of his caliber so far in this playoffs. If he can keep it up, then the Pacers can absolutely keep this series competitive, but he needs to shoot 46% from three. It's a stretch, I know, but he's been able to do it now in the first, second, and third rounds of the playoff. If he can keep it up, then the Pacers can stay competitive in this series. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Tyrese Haliburton versus the Dortcher Chamber. Now, there are a bunch of stat nerds going around talking about some of the statistics and what Lu Dort has been able to do to Tyrese Haliburton in previous matchups. The one specifically that I want to talk about, in the past 4 games that the Pacers have played the Thunder, Lu Dort has guarded Tyrese Haliburton on 122 possessions. 122 possessions. In those 122, Tyrese Haliburton scored 8 points on 10 shots. Now, a lot of people want to look at the 8 points and say, wow, Lu Dort, unbelievably elite defender. And while, yes, of course, he is, and I give him credit, he's an NBA all-defensive player. He is unbelievable. It is because Tyrese Haliburton is not a contested jump shot maker. He doesn't shoot those often. I will give you some statistics to back it up. Tyrese Haliburton only shoots 13% of his shots with defenders 4 feet or closer to him. Now, in comparison to other scorers like SGA, who shoots 46% of his shots with defenders 4 feet or closer, Anthony Edwards at 53%, and Jalen Brunson at 50%. Tyrese Haliburton is all the way down at 13%. Now, I think it's key that Haliburton gets open looks, because it's just not in his playing style to shoot contested jumpers. And rightfully so. He does not knock them down at an efficient clip. He's not a tough shot maker like SGA, Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Brunson. Now, of course, you can pull up highlight clips and show me a bunch of Haliburton shots where it just looks impossible. I totally understand it. He has made tough shots in the past. I'm saying that's not his game. SGA is a contested shot maker. Jalen Brunson, the same thing. Anthony Edwards drives to the rack. And also, they pull the trigger. Tyrese Haliburton is a pass-first point guard. He's not going to score. But the key, though, is he's still the second leading scorer on this team. You've got to get him shots, because when he shrinks as a scorer, the entire team has to step up as scorers. And that's not something that you can ask of role players on the road. Asking Aaron Nesmith to score 20 points in an NBA Finals game on the road is not the key to success. The key to success is having Aaron Nesmith as a decoy, get him open, have the defense crash, Tyrese Haliburton leaks to the weak side, and he gets an open shot. That's what you want to do if you're the Indiana Pacers, in my position, or in my opinion. I think that that's the game plan in terms of trying to get this team to will itself to a victory in games 1, 2, 5, or 7. You got to steal one on the road if you want to win this series. Obviously, it's a 7-game series. You got to win your 3 at home and you got to win 1 on the road. And asking your role players to be the X factor in these road games is not a smart play in my opinion. Yes, Aaron Nesmith was able to do it in game 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it to you, we might never see a performance like that again. Having somebody knock down 6 3-point shots in less than 3 minutes, and he makes every single one of them, unheard of. You don't see that happen, especially in the playoffs. I don't think a single soul can point to another NBA playoff game where a player shoots 6 straight threes in less than 3 minutes, knocks them all down, erases a 20-point deficit. It just doesn't exist. I'm going on a rant here, but overall what I want to talk about is Tyrese Halliburton has to get open. He's not going to shoot contested shots. He's always going to be looking to pass those out. Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, Alex Caruso, SGA, Jalen Williams, they're going to be swarming him first and looking to the role player second. So you've got to get your role players open. Now, this is what I want to talk about with the Pacers. Their X factor to win this. They've got to pass the ball, specifically swinging the ball around the perimeter. These OKC defenders, they are unbelievably deep and seasoned as well as conditioned. You got to make them work for it. The problem with this X factor, though, is that the Thunder not only finished first in defensive rating, but they also led the league in deflections per game, contested threes per game, and they were first in fast break points allowed. So you can't get out and run against this team and expect to compete with them not also doing the exact same thing. It can't be a track meet if you're Indiana. They know how to run, but in my opinion, the Thunder know how to do it better, and I think they're a deeper roster. The Pacers' depth has been unbelievable so far in the playoffs. I do not think they compare to the Thunder's bench. Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort, even the other Jalen Williams on this team are really, really high-tier bench players. Now, Lou Dort has started a few games. Alex Caruso has started a few games. But overall, these are role players. And they do their job almost perfectly. So I think if you're the Pacers, you've got to make them work on the defensive end. You've got to pass the ball constantly, get in half-court sets, make them move while you do less moving. That's what you do if you're the Pacers. Now, if you're the Thunder, it's the third quarter. They have been the most dominant third quarter team since the 2017-2018 Golden State Warriors. Looking at the Thunder specifically and past NBA champions, I'm going to read you off some third quarter scoring margins, meaning they scored and the other team scored. What's the difference? The Thunder are at 3.2 points per game, which doesn't sound like a lot, but let's look at last year's Boston Celtics. They were at 1.9. The Denver Nuggets, 1.6. The Milwaukee Bucks, 1.3. The Lakers, 0.2. The Toronto Raptors, when they beat the Warriors, 2.4. The last time that you could look at a third quarter dominant team like the Oklahoma City Thunder this year were the 2017-2018 Golden State Warriors, where they scored 5.1 points more than their opponent in the third quarter. So all that being said, OKC is dominant in the third quarter. In their 16 playoff games, they've gone on 14 10-0 runs against their opponents. They have the kill shot metric. They can erase a 20-point deficit in 3 or 4 minutes. They can go up by 10 to 15 points in 3 or 4 minutes. Getting out and running right after halftime is going to be the X factor for Oklahoma City. I think the Pacers have the pace to keep up in the first half, but it's going to be on the Thunder to put them away early in the third quarter and have them trying to play catch up for the rest of this game. Those are my 2 X factors. Now let's get into my prediction. My prediction, it's bold. OKC in 4. Now, a lot of people are thinking, Plaisant, how in the hell do you think OKC is going to sweep a team that gets to the NBA Finals? I think it has to do with the fact that everything that the Pacers do, the Thunder also do that, and they do it better. It's a strength-on-strength matchup, but the stronger person wins in that instance. It's not the player with more, or it's not the team with more finesse. It's the player who's stronger at doing it. The Pacers are a pretty good defensive team. The Oklahoma City Thunder are better. The Pacers run the break very efficiently. Oklahoma City does it better. The Pacers defend the perimeter in an elite way. Andrew Nembhard is a great defender, but Oklahoma City has Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, SGA, Jalen Williams. They can all defend the perimeter at an elite level. Chet Holmgren is an elite rim protector. I don't think that Miles Turner can be defined as that. He's a really good rim defender. It's going to come down, I think, to coaching if the Pacers want to win it, and then crashing the boards. Oklahoma City has given up the 5th most second chance points in the NBA playoffs so far. The Pacers, though, are not an offensive rebounding team. So you're asking them to kind of change their style and not get back on defense. It's possible, but it's a long shot. And that's why I have OKC winning in 4. Game 1, I have OKC winning 138-114. Game 2, I have them winning 115-100. Game 3 is going to be the toughest game of the series, 117-114. This is going to be the Pacers throwing everything at the wall. And then last but not least, OKC finishes them off in 4 in Indiana, 124-118. And I think Tyrese Halliburton and his superstardom are going to be put into deeper question. In game 1, I've got him scoring 9 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Game 2, I have him scoring 12 points on 4 of 14 shooting. Game 3 is where he kind of unloads the bag, scores 24 points, and he can shoot 7 of 18 from the floor, but it's not enough. And then game 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder get back to what they do best, clamping up the opposing team's best player, and Tyrese Halliburton scores 6 points on 2 of 13 shooting. That's my finals prediction. It's very bold. Obviously, picking OKC is not that crazy, but to pick a sweep in the finals is nuts. The Golden State Warriors did it against the Cavaliers a few years ago, but even that first super team year against LeBron James, LeBron stole one. I think the Pacers can steal one. I think the Pacers could technically win this series if a lot of things bounce their way. If they have another game 1 like they did versus the New York Knicks, they'll beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. But that's just such a big if in my opinion, and I'm not really a big hypothetical guy. I'm logical, I'm statistical, analytical, and I see it with my own 2 eyes. OKC is one of the best teams that we've seen in the 21st century. They might be the best defensive team in the 21st century, period. And SGA is the MVP for a reason. So that being said, OKC in 4 is my prediction. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.